Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're gonna be doing some ram goat meat. So we're gonna make some curry goat and also gonna make some stew pork. Okay, so here I already cleaned up our seasoning. We have scallion, thyme, Scotch bonnet pepper, onions, garlic, sweet pepper, and ginger. We're gonna be doing that with some brown rice, coconut milk. I'm gonna make that, and red kidney beans. We're gonna be doing that just cooking outside, so it's gonna be an all natural cooking. We're gonna be using Royal Oak 100% natural hardwood lump coal. So the first thing we're gonna be doing is washing the meat with vinegar. So we're gonna putting it in the water and let it sit for about 5-10 minutes. After, we're gonna rinse them off with some lemon. Okay, so these are the seasoning that we're gonna be using. We're using some all-purpose natural Maggi season. We're gonna be using some Grace fish and meat sauce, some complete seasoning. Here we have some paprika, some lemon pepper. This is black pepper and browning. And also we're gonna be using some Himalayan pink salt, and this now is our pimento. So we're gonna brown that up in that. So the first process now is we're gonna put the meat in the water and let it soak for 5-10 minutes with the vinegar. And while that is soaking in the water, to get out all the impurities and everything, then we're gonna be putting up our natural seasoning. Stay tuned. Welcome back. So now we have our meat in the water. All right, this is the goat. We're gonna be pouring on the vinegar. You can just use a judgment on how much vinegar you put in the water. Okay, so we're gonna let it sit for, as I said, probably 5-10 minutes. Let it clean it. If you notice, most of the fat is coming off because of the vinegar. So you're gonna let it stay for 5-10 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be cutting up my natural seasoning. Okay, so I already cut the seasoning. So this is the scallion, the thyme, Scotch bonnet pepper, the onions, the sweet pepper, the garlic, and the ginger. So now I already rinsed off the meat and I added the lemon to the water. So this is the second washing. So now I'm gonna drain and season. Now that my meat is drained, I'm gonna season. So I'm gonna be adding some of this sweet pepper. That's some in the goat and some in the pork. The more season you put in, the better the taste. So I'm adding my onions. And you can like put whatever amount of the natural season you want to, because the more you put in, the better the taste. So I'm adding my garlic already minced. Just sprinkle it in. Adding my garlic to the pork. And I'm going to add some thyme. Okay, some to the goat, some to the pork. Then I'm going to add my ginger to both meats. Then I'll be adding the scallion, the fresh scallion. I'm putting a handful into the goat and a handful into the pork. And as I said before, just use it according to your taste. And I said the more you put in, the better you get a natural taste. Okay, now I'll be adding the Scotch bonnet pepper. So I'm putting, I cut 2 peppers. So I'm putting half in the goat and half in the pork. Okay, now that my natural seasoning is in, that's the pork and that's the goat. I'll be adding some other natural seasoning for taste. All right, this is the Maggi. This is the Maggi all-purpose. You can add about a 1/4 cup to each meat. Same thing for the pork, a 1/4 cup to each meat. Then I'll be adding some complete seasoning. And complete seasoning is really scallion, onion, thyme, all of them dried and crushed. So I'll be adding some complete seasoning. Same thing, about a 1/4 cup. I have like 8 pounds of goat and 8 pounds of pork. So 1/4 cup of each season is okay. Then to the pork now, I'll be adding some browning so that, you know, when the meat is cooked, it's not white. So I'm adding some browning to the pork. Give it a light brown color, that should be okay. About same thing, about a 1/4 cup is good. Then I'm adding some lemon pepper to both. You can add about a tablespoon each for each meat. As I said, I have 8 pounds of mutton and 8 pounds of pork. So 2 tablespoons actually should be good. Then I'll be adding some black pepper also. About a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of black pepper. Then I'll be adding some paprika. Half tablespoon paprika. Then I'll be adding some of my Grace meat sauce. Actually, that just give it a better taste. About 2 tablespoons should be enough. Okay. I'll be adding some pimento, but so what I do is just ground it up with this and put it on. Salt is optional because these seasoning already have salt, so you add salt according to your taste. I'm not a salt fan, so I'll add about, I'm gonna use the pink salt, so I'll add a tablespoon to each meat. Then the next process is to mix them up. So you're gonna be mixing it up thoroughly so that each piece of meat gets the flavor. And you can also taste it to see if you need additional salt. But as I said, you use the salt according to your taste. Alright, that's the mixed product, and this is the pork one. So make sure you mix it up thoroughly so that you get the desired color on each piece of the meat. And you can always add more browning if it looks a little bit white. You can also add more browning to it. You want to get like a dark brown color, so I'm going to add a little bit more browning so I get the desired color. Okay, so I'm going to mix again. And it's important to mix it in thoroughly. Yeah, this is the color I'm looking for now. And as I said before, you add salt to your taste. I only use minimal salt because I don't like salt. Alright, this color is good. Okay, this is a goat now. I'm not going to add the curry to it. I'm going to put it down, let it marinate for cooking tomorrow. Now I'll add the curry to the pot with a little bit of oil, let it burn. Then I add this. That it gets a better flavor and a better color. Now this is my peas. I added it to the pot. So I'm gonna wash it, put a little bit of water on it, and let it soak overnight. It's easier to cook because the peas absorb the water, so it gets softer. So you add some, I'm gonna add some pepper. I'm gonna season it up with pepper, scallion, thyme, and garlic with about the same amount of water, and I put it down overnight for cooking tomorrow. So stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow is when all this is gonna be cooked, so stay tuned for the next video. And this is my coconut. I'm gonna put it in the blender, blend it to extract the juice, and I use the coconut juice to cook the rice, the brown rice and peas. So there you go, guys. Here's my meat. That's this brown stew pork, and this is the curry goat, the curry to be added tomorrow. So all this will be done tomorrow. And as I said, this is the season that I used. So here we have meat seasoning, the browning only for the curry. I used some Maggi all-purpose, some lemon pepper, black pepper. This is my pimento grains. I crush it in this. This is a grinder that crushed the grain is into powder, and my complete seasoning. So that is it now, peeps. Stay tuned tomorrow when I start the cooking. It's important to season your meat and let it marinate for a better taste. So I'm gonna let it marinate. I'm gonna put it in the fridge, let it marinate tonight, and then tomorrow join me for the completion of the video. Thank you. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So yesterday we prepared our meat for cooking today. So our meat was marinated for 24 hours. So that is what the stewed pork look like, well marinated. And this is what the goat meat looks like after 24 hours. Now we did wash our peas yesterday and put it to soak in some water. We already seasoned it up, so we have scallion, onion, sweet pepper, Scotch bonnet pepper, and some thyme and garlic. And this is my coconut diced up, so I'm gonna put it in a blender with some warm water to extract the juice, the milk from the coconut. So we blend it with warm water and then we strain it with a strainer. But the first thing we're gonna do is light the fire with our Royal Oak lump charcoal. So this is the shell from the coconut. These bushes are from the coconut tree. So, and then the charcoal is at the bottom. So we're gonna try to get our fire lit. Okay, that's number one. Number two. It's kind of windy this morning, but we'll manage. That should be number two. All natural cooking today, guys. Okay, that should be it. Number three. Okay, so while the fire is gonna be catching itself, I'm gonna blend my coconuts. By that time the fire should be ready. The next thing, we're gonna be adding some oil to the pot, the outside of the pot. Reason for that, it's wood fire, so it gives off some black smoke. So this process allows easy cleaning after finished cook. So the oil will form a barrier between the black smoke, so when cleaning it's easier to clean, less hassle, so your pot will still remain the same color after cleaning. So stay tuned, I'm gonna get my milk ready. Stay tuned. Okay, our fire is up and running. So here we have the peas on this fire. On this one we're gonna be adding the goat. So we add some oil to the pot here. Then we're gonna be adding about 1/3 cup of curry powder. Okay. And you can always add more depending on the color you need. So to that now, we're gonna be making the curry burn a little. So that's the curry and the oil burning. Okay. To that now, we're gonna be adding our curry. Okay, so this one is our curry. So we're gonna be adding it to the pot. Stay tuned. So we're gonna add in this to that burnt curry. Okay, so we have added the goat to the pot. So we're gonna make the fire do its thing now. And we have added this stew pork to the pot. So let look. So we're gonna make the fire do its thing now. So now this is the peas on the fire with just the water that we soaked it in from last night. For now, we're gonna be adding our coconut milk that we just blended and strained. So that's the coconut milk right there. So we're gonna be adding that to the peas. Beautiful color. So we have to let the peas cook until it is soft before we add the rice. Beautiful. So stay tuned, guys. And we'll give you step by step as we go along. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you. Okay, guys, now we're about half an hour into the cooking, so we're gonna be checking our peas to see if it's cooked. So we're gonna get the spoon, gonna stir it up a bit, then we're gonna be checking our peas if it's cooked. So what we're gonna be doing now is checking the texture of the peas. Squish, so it's cooked, it's soft, so it's cooked. We already pre-washed the rice, so it's that long grain brown rice, so that's ready. Guys, that aroma that's coming from this pot, oh, nice smell. And in the meantime, we are having a drink of that Royal Never White Waterproof rum from Jamaica while we're cooking. So now we're gonna check on our goat and our pork to see what's going on. So we're gonna be adding the rice in a few minutes. Now the peas is ready. Also, you have to make sure that the fire is not too high because we don't want the rice to burn. So that's pretty good for that. Now this is the goat. Lovely. So it's coming on about half an hour into the cooking of the goat. So it's coming on nice. You can smell the natural seasoning. The aroma coming from the pot. Woo. It's gonna be attracting people that's passing by. So that's the goat. It's coming on nice. good amount of fire. So that should be ready in about the next 45 minutes. And this is the stew pork, coming on nice also. Probably the next 45 minutes, depending on the texture of the meat. But the aroma, guys, that natural seasoning off the chain. And we have a medium wood coal fire there, so that should be nice. As I said, we are using this, the all natural lump charcoal. So now we're gonna be adding the rice to the peas, and then that should take about half an hour on low heat. So remember, you have to remove some of the charcoal after you put in the rice, and it boils for about 10 minutes. When you can't see no water on the top, then you draw the fire so you have less heat and it's steamed, because rice really steams. So now we're going to be adding the rice to this, so stay tuned, guys. Okay, we are about 10-15 minutes out. I'm finishing. Now what we do when you buy the skillet, cut the bottom, plant it. So we always have skillet. This is just the bottom of the skillet we cut and plant it. So we always have skillet here. So now we're gonna check and see the finish, see what's going on. As I said, we have 10-15 minutes out from completing. Now this is the rice, and we have it on, as I said, low heat. We are allowing the rice to steam right now. So about 10-15 minutes time, this is done. So this is, here you have it, your brown rice and peas. You have to mix it occasionally so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. That should be done in the next 10-15 minutes on low heat. So you're allowing the rice to steam. Okay, so now we're gonna check on our goat and our pork. And see, the fire is down to minimal now, so we're gonna check and see. It's almost done, and this is the pork. As you see, low heat, almost done. Not too much fire now. So now we're gonna add in some extra natural seasoning that I already pre-cut. So here we have some onions, scallion and garlic. So we're gonna be adding it to the goat and the pork, just to keep the flavor. So I'm going to put in half of this in the goat and half of this in the pork. So this is the goat. So we're going to add in half of the natural seasoning to it. And the other half is going to be on the pork. Grab the other spoon. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna combine this in, and then let's it simmer for 10-15 minutes, and we should be okay. So this enhances the flavor So that's good for that. And now we have it on low heat. Okay, so same thing for the goat. Mix it in. And I said your cook time depends on the texture of the meat. Sometimes the meat is a little bit tough, sometimes it's soft. So it depends. So now we call this re-season. So now that we've re-seasoned it, I'm gonna leave it there for the next 10-15 minutes because we checked it and it's soft. So this is for just added flavor. So I'm gonna cover them back. So this is the goat simmering, and this is the pork. So we leave it to simmer with low heat. The next 10-15 minutes, up and running. By the way, we have pineapple here coming up too. A few pineapples right there coming up. We have some pumpkin and this sweet sap tree, and that's gooseberry. Over there we have a yellow yam, and we have bananas. Right here in South Florida, here we have a nice tomato tree. See that nice tomato coming up? Okay. Right in the backyard garden here in South Florida. We still have some pineapple right here. And there we have, guys, a banana coming. And that's our lemon tree. So stay tuned. 10-15 minutes, we're gonna be eating. Stay tuned, guys. So here we have it, guys, the finished product. Curried goat, stewed pork, brown rice. So we have onion here. You smell it from afar. How is the taste, onion?
Just start off with it about the safari, I tell you, nice, marinate, nice, real talk. You have 24-hour turnaround. I go out with yourself.
We have garden here.
But it's
Very nice, man. Tastes good. Well prepared. Well prepared. You got to come over and try it for yourself.
Cool.
Alright, so there we have it, guys. This is only going in. This is my plate.
Alright, I'm on the phone and Bernard said you're promising dinner, you know.
Yes,
so,
yes,
yeah, you need to handle that too.
Okay, so
Yes,
there you have it, guys. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Okay, man.
Over and out, Mr. Gordon.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
Alright, over and out, Mr. Allen.
Beautiful thing.
Alright. There we got it, guys. Like, share, subscribe.